Are you working? What kind of work do you do?
I know you've done a lot of interviews about it.
Yeah, I haven't really done a lot of interviews.
No, you haven't.
Yeah, I haven't.
And you know, what I wanted to ask you is that, do people realize this is a two-part question. Do people realize what a great producer you are? And are they obscured by everything else? By the fashion, by the quote-unquote scandal, by the restaurants, the acting, the Broadway, the movies, everything else. Do people take you seriously as a producer? In your opinion?
I think, to be honest, like all of the other things, it gives them some relief, or it gives them a distraction to not really, I would say, kind of face the reality of how, and saying in like the most humble way, how dope a motherfucker is, living, doing this hip hop thing. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. So like, it's hard for people to grasp like how somebody could do multiple things, because usually you have somebody, okay, that person's a dope MC, that's what that person does, he does that very well. Right. That person's a dope producer, that person's a dope actor. But you know, I feel I was put on this earth to be like a quadruple threat, and one of my strengths, which I don't get a lot of credit for, and I don't go in. I feel I always make noise when the time is right. So I'm waiting for probably another big thing for the icing on the cake to make sure that they know and remind them, because I'm still in the competitive world of hip hop, and I'm not afraid to let people know. But like the it makes me laugh at times when and also it hurts. It makes me laugh and it hurts at times when people will kind of say disrespectful artistic things, as far as me artistically, when they don't give it up to what's the 411, Life After Death, Ready to Die, American Gangster, My Life, No Way Out. You know what I'm saying? When they don't when they don't just sit down and deal with that, when they don't deal with those facts, and like when you see people, you always see people don't recognize people and give people their just due till they gone. I've always said that I'm gonna make you give me mine while I'm here. You know what I'm saying? And smell
your roses before the graveyard.
Yeah. You're gonna have to give me mine. You're gonna have to respect what I do while I'm here. I don't know if they clearly ever really given it up to Ready to Die, and I think it's because of just different things. There was so much scandal involved with it, and the whole Biggie thing really kind of dwarfed it. You know what I'm saying? Eclipsed it, which it should have. Right. But then it's been years later. The movie's been out. We've had a time. We've all had.
Congratulations on that.
Oh, thank you. We've all had a chance to, grow and mourn and evolve, and that's just something we're gonna have to deal with. We're gonna have to deal with,
Well, we
got to deal with our producer Ready to Die.
I want to talk about that. That's what this whole thing is about. So this is it. This is what I wanted to ask you. When did you come up with the concept of Ready to Die, and did you realize that you were creating a classic when you were putting this album together?
I never realized I was creating a classic. You know what I'm saying? I always was like the biggest fan of Off. I always loved Off the Wall. Everybody else loved Thriller. Right. I loved Off the Wall. Right.
That's a pick from Harlem. Love Off the Wall.
Yeah. But I always loved Off the Wall. But I always respected Thriller. Whether it was Dr. Dre. I always loved the Chronic. But I always really loved Niggas for Life. Right. Teddy Riley. And so I would always just try to do my best. I never went in to try to make a classic. I always tried to just do my best, do what I could to really move people emotionally. So when I was doing Ready to Die, to be my most thought-provoking work as a producer. I wanted my sounds and my work to be competitive with Dr. Dre, you know, and that's when I was in the studio. That's what I was going for, because I was such a fan. I just wanted, when I was doing it, I wanted to make sure that my work is to stand up to that work. 'Cause I felt like the work he did in hip hop was out there, was so crazy. But I knew the thing that I had that was different. You got to play your strengths. Is that I was from Harlem.
Right.
So then the soul that I put on there was a unique type of soul.
Mm-hmm.
See, Dr. Dre had a funk
mm-hmm.
that was unique for the West Coast,
mm-hmm.
and I had a soul that was unique for Harlem, for New York. And when I got together with this kid from Brooklyn, I just put that rawness and that, you know, and that truth together with that.
You know, Sean, I got to tell you something. Initially, I was not a fan of Biggie because I heard Party and Bullshit. I thought it was different. I thought it was very edgy. He was unlike any other MC that I was used to and following, like a Kane, like a Heavy D, like a KRS-One, you know. But I'm going to tell you when it got me. I was working on a script that I wrote called Thirsty about these dirty cops in Baltimore and these politicians. And I took a walk. I used to walk from West Baltimore to East Baltimore. And East Baltimore, you know, that's Quiet Stormville. Where they out there, Quiet Storm is on. You know, all the customers coming, you know, them kids shooting the gun in the air, the whole 9 yards, in broad daylight. And while that was going on and I'm watching this, these kids are playing the whole album. The album just came out a week before, Ready to Die. And they knew every single word to Warning, to Machine Gun Funk. And it was almost like it was religious. So what I'm trying to tell you is that as great as The Chronic is, as it set a marker in the 90s for the album to beat, to me, Ready to Die, and I'm not just saying that because you're here, I always wanted to ask you this. Did you understand the narrative that you were putting down, the storyline of a kid that's born in this dysfunctional family, of a kid who's going out to rob and you know, sticking up a train, a subway, of a kid who was like, you know, well, you'll be back, Mr. Wallace. No, I won't. And he's not coming back, for real. By the time we get to the end of the album and a suicide, I'm like, I walked around my house maybe for an hour and said, this dude just do, man. How did he understand this? Did you, what I'm trying to say is, how did you put the story together?
Yeah, I mean, it's just the way my mind wanted to make you close your eyes and see it play out. So when I came up with I would write the treatments down for that. Came up to the introduction.
Right.
I was seeing his whole life flash, you know, from the birth. I was hearing the music that was behind it. I was hearing all of that to, like, you know, him getting with his man, the robbing the trains, him going to jail, and then just his whole mindset of where he was at. He wasn't his place. Now, the ending. Now the whole ending of it, when Big I was giving Big pieces of this story, and I kept on telling him we got to tell the truth. We got to have people feel like they understand what it is to be young and black and coming up in Brooklyn. And he took it all the way there. You know what I'm saying? I never felt that feeling. I never felt that feeling of that I wanted to kill myself. So I couldn't have told somebody to do that feeling. He had told me this record and it scared the shit out of me. And then it was like, that's the way we worked as a team. And that had came like later on, like 70%, you know, when the album was like 70% done. And then I started putting the music to it, and I did it like a movie score. And then when I started putting the sound effects to it, when I had the phone drop, then I was like, oh shit, you know what I'm saying? I done did something.